Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another video. The time has come. It's been officially announced Superman and Lois is going to conclude the Arrowverse with season 4. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Well, there you have it. That is the end of the Arrowverse. I'm not surprised to hear this report. However, when it was renewed a while ago for season 4 by the CW, there was no mention of it being the final season, but clearly in the meantime, the CW and Warner Brothers Television have been stewing over the fate and the future of Superman and Lois and have come together and decided that season 4 is going to be the end. Superman and Lois has not been cancelled, it's going to be ending, so that's a difference compared to Legends of Tomorrow or Batwoman or Stargirl. Those shows were cancelled, they were scrapped because of ratings. I believe this is ending mainly because it's just a bit too expensive for the CW and on Warner Brothers' part. Obviously they're building the DCEU, and this article definitely goes into it because the tagline of the Hollywood Reporter article that we're going to be breaking down in this video says the news comes as producers Warner Bros. TV is clearing the decks of DC shows to make way for the James Gunn era. So we're going to get into that and a lot more, and obviously I want all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below because this is a video I did not want to make, but it is the end of the Arrowverse unless someone picks up the Arrowverse once again sometime down the line. But for now, it's going to be the end when Superman and Lois season 4 comes out sometime next year. And obviously we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with this channel once that happens, but we're going to stick to DC content, sticking to the CW for now, while Superman and Lois isn't on air and hasn't concluded. So let's break this down. So it's the end of an era for Superman and Lois, as it will take one final flight on the CW. The Nexstar-backed broadcast network on Thursday announced the upcoming 4th season of the DC Comics drama from executive producer Greg Berlanti will be its final run. The 10-episode final season starring Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch will air sometime in 2024. So that's it, it's 10 episodes. Kind of makes more sense that it's 10 episodes now if you look at how Arrow ended, but obviously it's different circumstances with that, because in this case obviously it was them cutting back and them saving a lot of money. Also, I have to point out before we continue this article, I don't think season 4 is going to be on the same level as the past 3 seasons of Superman and Lois, which have been insanely high in terms of quality, and that's been the main standpoint of the show. I think visually it will still look good and you'll still get the performances out of the actors and some great direction, but I think the story is going to be a little bit more laid back and pulled back, which is a shame considering Superman and Lois has been so good on all fronts over the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, so this is a quote from Brad Schwartz, the president of the CW right now. He says, "Over the last 3 seasons, Superman and Lois redefined both the superhero genre and the family drama, as Tyler, Elizabeth, and the entire cast effortlessly portrayed these classic characters with new layers of depth and complexity that had never been explored in the Superman universe. We are grateful for the years of hard work and graceful storytelling from the show's writers, producers, actors, and crew, as well as our terrific partners at Warner Bros. Television and Berlanti Productions." I don't think they actually mean that. I think, Warner Brothers is clearing house and the CW is just quite happy to, not to have to produce a show that's super expensive. That's just my personal opinion. But as Superman embarks on his final flight, the team is leaving us with an absolutely epic 10-episode must-watch every minute farewell to one of the most legendary CW families ever. That's obviously, I think, a load of lies. He hasn't seen anything because they haven't filmed anything. I don't even think they've actually written at least like the 10 episodes. I think maybe they've written like 1 or 2 episodes max, because the writers haven't even come back together yet as far as we know. But this is just, a publicity statement to at least get some people on board with the final 10 episodes. Obviously, I think you will see a drop in ratings for this season just because people know that there's not going to be anything beyond this, and you know, people can go watch it at any time once it's out. So I do believe this obviously isn't going to be a great thing for the ratings, but that happens when shows are announced to be ending before the show actually comes to an end. I think you've seen that with Stargirl and some other shows as well. So the decision to conclude the superhero drama comes as producers Warner Bros. TV is clearing the decks of its DC Comics shows that fall outside of the universe currently being constructed by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Berlanti, who launched the CW back into the superhero space with the Arrow universe of shows, laid the foundations for what became a full slate of shows that helped to redefine the CW under former CEO Mark Pedowitz. Obviously, that era is coming to an end. There's going to be no more Arrowverse shows. Superman and Lois was the last one standing. I think we've all been expecting that Season 4 or Season 5 would be the final season of the show, based on how the CW is cancelling all these other shows and how they've cut back on Superman and Lois's now final season, but would have been like Season 4 just normally. And that's because of the way that they're trying to construct their new network. It's almost like a new network since Nexstar have taken it over. And so, as this article alludes to, Warner Bros. TV is also apparently clearing the decks of its DC shows. Well, you've seen the cancellation of Titans and Doom Patrol, and that basically means there's not going to be much Elseworld content apart from, if you look at the Batman universe with Matt Reeves, you got the Penguin show coming to HBO Max, but that's on Max. So I think basically they're clearing the deck for everything else apart from the stuff that is being worked on now. There's some animated shows that will continue. That's a bit different, but in terms of the live action, it's pretty much just the Penguin, and then it will be the DCU shows. Now, that's not to say that we won't be covering the DCU shows, because I'm very interested in those shows, but I really wish they could come sooner. I think we're going to have to wait a while. But the article goes on to say Superman and Lois is the last of the Berlanti-produced DC Comics roster that previously included Gotham Knights, Batwoman, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, The Flash, Black Lightning, Stargirl, as well as Titans, Doom Patrol, and Constantine. So all of those shows have come and gone. Obviously, Supergirl, The Flash, Black Lightning, and Arrow all ended properly, but sadly, Gotham Knights, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Stargirl, as well as Constantine, Titans, and Doom Patrol all prematurely ended because they were at the behest of the networks that they were at. Obviously, Constantine got cancelled by NBC, and then the rest of them, Titans and Doom Patrol, got cancelled by Warner Brothers, aka Max, and then obviously Gotham Knights, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, and Stargirl got cancelled by the CW. So basically it's just not gone well for us in terms of proper endings, apart from The Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, and Black Lightning. So, you know, when we look back at it, obviously we don't have like the best thoughts about the endings, but they were great shows and the Arrowverse was so good. So I'm really hoping for something really amazing with the DCU. I really hope it's worth it having these shows go away, and then hopefully we get something really great, and hopefully James Gunn can bring back some of the actors that have played these iconic characters in the Arrowverse. That's my hope. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not holding out for anything, even though obviously it would be amazing as fans of the Arrowverse to see some sort of continuation, like you saw the continuation when Constantine ended. He came back because Greg Berlanti and the Arrowverse, they saved that character. They saved Matt Ryan's version, which was just amazing for us fans. So imagine seeing Grant Gustin show up on the big screen alongside whoever the Flash is, or maybe because, you know, apparently there's rumors the Justice League might be getting recast. Imagine Grant is the one that takes over. I mean, that would be a no-brainer for me, but we'll see what their plans are. So Gunn and Peter Safran were installed last year as the co-head of DC Studios, and is following the Marvel blueprint of unifying its film and TV titles, which is obviously a difference from what DC has been doing previously. Only Peacemaker linked into the DCEU, and that's about it. And so they're going to be linked into one shared universe, an opportunity that was off limits to Berlanti during his tenure with DC, obviously because Berlanti was strictly TV. And even though in Crisis we had Ezra Miller crossover, there was only a couple of instances like in Titans where you saw flashes of Shazam and some other characters where they did crossover. So they were linked, but they weren't like intrinsically linked. One didn't rely on the other. And so Gunn and Safran are readying a Superman movie, and in December the last feature of the DCEU will be Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. So obviously the DCEU is coming to an end, and also the Arrowverse is coming to the end, but the Arrowverse is at least surviving the DCEU by just over a year, I guess. So as for the CW, after Nexstar took on oversight of the CW from CBS Studios and Warner Brothers TV more than a year ago, the company has effectively gutted its US produced scripted originals. Only 4 shows remain on the network slate that were developed under Pedowitz previously: Superman and Lois, All-American, and its Homecoming spin-off, as well as Walker. Premiere dates have not yet been determined given the ongoing SAG strike. And so showrunners Todd Helbing and new showrunner Brent Fletcher for the last season have said this in their statement: while we're sad to say goodbye to Superman and Lois at the end of season 4, we're grateful for the time we've had with our amazing cast, crew, VFX teams, editors, musical geniuses, and writers. Since the day this show was first discussed, it was about family, and that's what was created on screen and off screen. We'd like to thank our partners at Berlanti Productions, DC, WB, and the CW for their endless support and enthusiasm during this journey, and give a very special thank you to all the fans for tuning in. We're thrilled about what we have in store for our final season and can't wait for everyone to watch as Superman, Lois, and all our heroes face off against the biggest threat in the show's history, Lex Luthor. So there you have it. That is the official statement from the showrunners of Superman and Lois. It's official. Superman and Lois is ending with season 4, and as I said earlier, I don't think they actually knew this was going to be the end, and so they just had it in the back of their mind, because I guess when they had discussions with the CW about renewing and all the budget cuts, they've definitely talked about the future beyond this season, and clearly they all came to the agreement, let's just end it here, because clearly the CW doesn't want to support this show go on any longer if it's going to be as expensive as it is. And then WB is obviously trying to kind of clear slate, but we don't know the ins and outs of that. If James Gunn actually wants to be rid of everything else apart from the DCU, that is up in the air. But it goes on to say Superman and Lois, like the 3 other holdover shows, underwent budget cuts as Nexstar attempts to make the network profitable for the first time in its history. The series cut the number of writers currently employed and has reduced its budget by focusing more on the family and less on the action scenes that require expensive visual effects. We've talked about that before. It's going to feel like a very different season in this final season. But there you have it. That is the official news. It's the end of the CW's Arrowverse era. Superman and Lois is going to conclude with season 4, and that's going to be the final Arrowverse show. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's so sad, but I guess it's just going to properly sink in when we get to that final season, season 4, and we've only got 10 episodes. I really wish we had more than that, but that's what we got to say goodbye to Superman, Lois, and everyone else. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let everyone know about this video. Let everyone know about the end of Superman and Lois and the end of the Arrowverse. It's officially confirmed. And yeah, I mean, it's not a video I wanted to make, as I said, but it is here and it is what it is. So for now, you can subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Obviously, we're branching out and we're doing more DCU videos, so it's not just Arrowverse, obviously, because it's coming to an end. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the recent content, and we'll have plenty more in the future. And if you have any other video suggestions, let me know down in the comments below what you would like to see. But yeah, click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.